Hello and welcome to the Outdoorsy Educator podcast, the show where curiosity meets the open road. I'm your host Alistair, and I invite you to join me as we explore the world through travel, nature, getting outside, and the power of learning. Each episode, we will dive into stories from inspiring educators, adventurers, and global citizens who are reshaping what it means to learn, whether it's in a classroom, on a mountain trail, or even halfway across the world. From backpacking trips that change your perspective to educational journeys that transform communities, we will cover it all. So pack your curiosity, lace up your boots, and let's discover how the world teaches us, one step, one story, one adventure at a time. Since 1970, Whole Earth Provision Company has been the Texas outfitter for side quests big and small. Whether you're gearing up for the open road, chasing a trailhead, or hunting for that just right gift, they have got you covered. Think durable clothing, shoes that will actually go the distance, gear that's road trip ready, and books, puzzles, and toys that will spark wonder at every age. You'll find Whole Earth in Dallas, Austin, Houston, and San Antonio, or anytime online at wholeearthprovision.com. And hey, because you're rolling with the Outdoorsy Educator podcast, here's a little extra love. Use the code OutdoorsyyEDU for 20% off your next adventure at Whole Earth. Well, hello listeners, before we get into this episode, I just wanted to let you know that during the recording, I had my 10-week-old granddaughter in my arms the whole time. She was wonderfully well behaved for all of this interview, but being 10 weeks old, there was some cooing, the odd shout, she needed fed, a few things like that. I've tried to edit out what I can, but she makes an appearance a couple of times during this episode. So just wanted to let you know that that's what the background noise was. It didn't disturb the interview at all, and just ask for a little grace and patience as you listen if it disturbs any of your listening. But with that being said, let's get into the interview with Hayley from Explore More. And on this week's episode of the Outdoorsy Educator podcast, we have fellow North Texan Hayley. Hayley, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Oh, doing very well. I have a co-host on my end, my almost 10-week-old granddaughter. So if there is cooing, barping, anything like that, it's coming from the little one. So please excuse us, listeners, as we record this with the baby in tow.
Oh, most precious co-host ever.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking pretty partial to her. But
hmm
Hayley, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and about Explore More?
Of course, thank you. My name's Haley. Me and my husband started Explore More about 5, 6 years ago, just kind of as a side gig thing. And we kind of started it just with the goal of getting people outside more often, checking out local North Texas trails. So we would lead hike. We started out with hike and brews. So I really like breweries, like local. And when my kids were little, we that's where we would go to like hang out. So we would actually find a local brewery near the trail, and I would do a guided hike, and then we would all go to the brewery afterwards and hang out. We've done it with coffee shops, and then I started adding in yoga, and then I started having people show up to these hikes and say like either I'm a yoga instructor, I want to do this on the trail near my house, or I live 10 minutes away, I didn't know this trail existed. And so we
Mm-hmm.
started training yoga instructors and training other outdoor leaders. And then we also started making trail bingo cards with just
Right.
local trails all over North Texas, kind of making it a more gamified way of just exploring new trails. And then we recently have turned those trail bingo cards into an app. And we have funtivity challenges that have monthly activities that you can do, as well as daily quests, all free, all with the goal of just getting people outside more often and discovering new locations.
I love it. So before Explore More was even an idea for you and your husband, what was your experience with the outdoors? Were you somebody who liked to go hiking, camping, yoga, that kind of thing?
Yes. So I grew up in the country. My parents had 10 acres. My grandparents, who were catty corner from us, had like 5 acres. And so I would literally go, there was like a creek that separated our properties. So I would literally go over the river and through the woods, and I
That's
would end up in my grandma's
fantastic.
backyard. And so I grew up doing that. We always camped, we always hiked. But I had like a deep desire from a very young age to explore and adventure. Like before I even knew what backpacking was, I remember thinking like I would tell my parents when I was like 8, 9 years old, I was like, I want to just go walk through the rainforest and not know where I'm going.
Isn't that
And
wonderful? You've had that wanderlust since the beginning.
yes. And they were like, okay, I mean, that would be a little dangerous. I'm like, that's okay, I'll figure it out.
Right?
I like wanted desperately to be in Boy Scouts, but when I was a kid, girls couldn't join Boy Scouts. And so
Right.
my daughters are now in Cub Scouts. They love it. Um, but I just wanted to learn all that. And then when I got to college, I discovered a backpacking company in Wyoming called SRAM, Solid
Mhm.
Rock Outdoor Ministries, and they do backpacking trips all through the Rockies. And I did
Wow.
my very first backpacking trip that I've ever done was a 40-day backpacking trip in Wyoming. So
Hit the ground running, right?
I know I was 19, 20. I was dumb and thought I could handle anything. And
But did you
it
did
was,
you see it through? Did you do
I
it?
did, I
See, there
did.
you
It
go. So
was,
you could handle everything. That's
yes,
it.
it was by far the hardest and most amazing thing I've ever done. Other than like birthing my children.
Right. That's in a league all of its own. Yep.
Yes. So, but there were days that I was like, I remember I turned around at one point, it was sleeting on us. My backpack was probably 50 pounds. We were 15, 20 miles from the nearest trailhead. And I turned around to my guide and I was like, what do you do when you can't keep going? I was like, I'm
Right.
exhausted. I'm cold. I'm wet. Like, what do I do? And she's like, you keep going. And I was like,
Right.
there's no other option. She's like, I mean, we can call a helicopter in if you're dying. And I was like, okay.
Not that
Well,
dramatic, right?
literally have no other option. So you just keep going. And it was incredible. And I've done multiple trips with them since then, not 40 days again, but
Right.
I've done the Grand Canyon with them. I've done Zion. Me and my husband have done Colorado, Big Bend. He did a backpacking trip with Outward Bound when he was 18. And
Right.
so that's actually what we bonded on when we met
That's
was
fantastic.
my friend was like, hey, you should meet this girl. She's done a backpacking trip. And he's like, oh, I did a backpacking trip. His was 23 days. Mine was 40. So
Please don't ever let him forget that.
no.
Right?
So that's kind of what we bonded over. And that's kind of been our shared passion since we met. And we kept saying we were going to move to Colorado or we're going to move to Wyoming or somewhere. And we've now been married. So we got married in 2013. So almost 13 years.
Right.
And we're still in Texas.
Right.
So we finally were like, you know what? We can't keep waiting to go to Colorado before we do something. So let's just do it
Right.
here.
Just
So we
why
started
not?
exploring more here.
I love that. Your
Hmm.
story reminds me of my friend and author Derek Lugo. His very first night in a tent was day one on the Appalachian Trail.
Oh,
He
wow.
never camped before. He read A Walk in the Woods, a famous book by Bill
Yeah,
Bryson, and decided I'm just going to do it, never having done
that's
anything in the
amazing.
outdoors really.
Those are my
Um,
favorite stories, though.
right,
Hmm.
right, absolutely. Now I've got to
I
ask you
love
on a
it.
personal note. My wife is going out of town with her mum in a few weeks for
Hmm.
4 or 5 days, and I'm contemplating a drive down to Big Bend.
Okay.
Worth it?
Yes.
I mean, it
Hmm.
looks outstanding. It's different. It's.
Yes.
I want to
If
get
you've
down there. Yeah.
if you've never been before, it's
No.
100% worth it.
Right.
I will say, out of all the trips we've done, I think me and my husband would both say Big Bend was the hardest.
Okay.
And yeah, and it was only a 3-day backpacking trip. But I think the difference was you have to carry all your water. So
Right.
our backpacks were way heavier than we were used to. And the ground was gravel the whole time. Like there was not any, at
Right.
least the route we did. We did the outer mountain loop. And so um it was like gravel the whole time. And so we both had blisters and shoes that we've done huge trips in and have never had blisters.
But the
And
gravel.
so
Yeah.
yeah, and so we were dying. And by the we hiked one night, couldn't find a campsite. We are very big leave no trace people. And so we
Hmm.
tried really hard to find the perfect campsite, not make one. But we ended up having to make a campsite the first night because we just couldn't find a spot
Right.
that had no cactus or anything in the way. Um And then the second night, we ended up finding an abandoned house. So we ended up being able to put our tent up there. But we ended up just stashing our backpacks because we were
Hmm.
about half a mile from the road. And so we ended up stashing our backpacks and then we hiked the last 9 miles without our backpacks on.
Right.
Because we were so tired. We were like, we got it. And we booked it out, got in our car, drove all the way back around, which was like a hour and a half long drive to where we were.
Right.
Um, and then hiked in, grabbed our backpacks and left. and
That's you've got to do what you've got to do.
hmm
Now,
It
when I
was
go
beautiful
down,
though. It's
I'll just
very
be.
cool spot.
It's just very
Hmm
different. So I want to. We have no.
Literally middle of nowhere as you can get.
So this is a friend and I have joked a lot about. He's an English guy, and we've joked a lot
Uh-huh.
about getting an old Land Rover, like a good
Yeah.
old British car, and taking it down there. And he's like, absolutely not. You need a
Yeah.
reliable mode of
Yes.
transportation
hmm
down there.
I think we got there at dark and we like entered into the entrance and it was still like hours of driving before we got to the visitor center.
That's what I've heard that. Yeah,
Hmm
you see the Welcome to Big Ben sign, and then it's still
Yeah.
a good hour.
Oh,
Uh,
easily. Yeah. It was nuts. And
yeah,
we like slept in our car the first night and then like stepped off the next morning. Um,
yeah,
it was nuts. But I would love to go back and actually like stay in one of the Airbnbs or something and actually do some of
right.
like the really famous hikes. But also it is a 9 hour drive. And so I am kind of
Mhm.
like, if I'm going to drive 9 hours at this point, I might as well add three more and be in Colorado.
So there is that. There is,
hmm
right. It's like, okay, I
Yeah.
could do these other things. We have no immediate plans to leave Texas, but you never know what
Yeah.
the future holds. And I just know if for some reason
You
we
got to
left
go at least
tomorrow,
once.
I'd regret
Mhm.
it. That would be,
Yeah.
I've seen kind of everything else in Texas, all the big stuff. I
Yeah.
want to see. I've climbed Guadalupe Peak. I've walked the Lone Star Trail. I've done a lot
Awesome.
of other stuff, but I haven't been down to Big Bend, and
Yeah. You need to go.
it would bug me if I didn't.
If your wife doesn't want to go with you, that's the only thing. If she wants to go with you, then don't go without her.
Yeah, no, if I was going to Colorado,
Hmm
here we go. She would be all about it. Like she likes green.
Yes, me
Um,
too.
she's
I
from the
like green.
Northeast and she likes the mountains up in Pennsylvania and New Jersey,
Hmm
and that's where she's home.
Yeah.
But I just want to see
I'm
it,
the
I
same
think.
way. I mean, I know some
Yeah.
people love the desert and I love to see it. Like I've been to Zion, I've been to the Grand Canyon and they're amazing and I'm glad I've
Right.
seen them. But if I have the choice, I will probably choose green.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, Grand
Hmm
Canyon was, I mean, ridiculously impressive.
Oh,
It's
incredible.
unbelievable. But
Hmm
yeah, give me some rolling green hills and I'm
Yes.
very happy.
hmm
Um, I'm quite excited to have you on being a fellow North Texas resident,
hmm
because I'm sure you hear a lot of the same things I do. Like when people go hiking in North Texas, that
Yep.
doesn't really go hand in hand, and they want to be polite.
Uh-huh.
But there can't be any hike. So what do you say to people when they can't say, well, there's no trails, there's nowhere to hike. This is
Yeah.
Dallas. What's the
hmm
response you give?
So typically I will say like you're right, it's not I mean if depending on where you're from, like it's not Colorado, you're not going to be bagging peaks. You're not going to be going on these crazy long trails and I was like but there's actually a very impressive trail system in DFW.
Right,
Um and depending on who I'm talking to, like I'm not a big mountain biker, but my husband is.
right.
Um and so Dorba, for example, Dorba is an incredible
Yes.
organization in Dallas that manages all of these multi-use trails. And I've actually talked to quite a few mountain bikers who are like, people don't understand that the Dallas mountain biking trail system is actually pretty impressive um, compared to other
Yeah.
cities.
I'm not a mountain
And
biker either, but I've got friends that are, and
yeah,
they're impressed by this
yes.
doorbell. Yeah.
And so I'm like, there's lots of trails here, but they're going to be smaller, but you're still going to be surprised that you're like, hey, I feel like I'm in the middle of the woods, but I'm like 5 minutes from 75.
Right.
Um, and so people don't always realize that those places exist. And so I just always encourage people to be like, even if it looks small and unimpressive, then you should still go check it out. Which is half the reason why we made the trail bingo cards with like all of these different trails, no matter how small they are, to just be like, go
Mhm.
check them out because they might be in your right in your backyard. And you never know. I mean, I have a small trail here in my town that if I have meetings or if I have to be somewhere and I have 10 minutes to kill, I can go out there and go walk in the woods for
Mhm.
10 minutes and then go back to my car and go to my meeting. And it's
That's
a
it.
great pause. Like other than like
Yeah.
driving and sitting in my car and scrolling my phone for 10 minutes. It's like
Right.
if you have the two options, then
But
might
I'm
as well
right
get
there with
outside.
you. Yeah, why
Mhm.
not? I mean, I live right in Denton, and we have Clear Creek,
Yeah.
which
Hmm.
you've been to, and that's where I
Yeah.
believe we met, right?
Yes.
That's how you
We've done a couple of hiking yogas with them. One of my
yeah,
guides, who is one of my nature yoga certified guides, does hiking yoga and forest bathing at Clear Creek a
right. And
lot. Hmm.
have you ever walked around the trail? It's about 3 miles.
No, every time I've been there, it's been flooded.
It does flood
Yeah.
easily, and that's
Yeah.
just it does.
That's another thing people don't understand in North Texas and
Yeah.
probably in a lot of places is most of our trails are on floodplains.
Yeah.
So that does
Especially
cause a little bit of an obstacle, but that's when you use the paved trails
right. It's
or
okay.
you,
We have
yeah.
alternatives. I mean, but
Hmm.
I'm 3 miles or so from
Hmm.
Clear Creek, and a lot of people right here don't know it exists. And
Hmm.
I mean, you could be 10 minutes into it and you would think you were in the Smoky Mountains or something like
Yeah.
that. You really get that green tunnel feeling where you are just surrounded by trees and you've
Hmm.
got no idea how far the road is away. It's
Yep.
beautiful and it's not unique. There's lots of places like this
Oh
around.
yeah.
We
All
people just
over.
have to
We have a
find them.
Denton Trail bingo card. Have you downloaded it?
I have not done the Denton one. I've seen
Okay.
one of your original ones. I forget which one it was. I've
Yeah.
not seen the Denton one.
Well, in the app, we have a Denton one. I mean, they're not all in Denton city limits, but they're all like
Right.
in the area.
I will find it. I think that would be
Hmm.
fantastic. Before we kind of move on to, I've got a few questions for you as
Hmm.
we start to round this up. If people want to find out more about Explore More or perhaps get inspired to do something in their own city, where can they
Hmm.
find you? Where could they ask you questions?
So it's exploremore.fun. Like that's our website, that's our Instagram handle, and our app is just Explore More, all one word.
Fantastic. Yeah, and I know you're quite
Hmm.
active on Instagram and I'm sure on
Hmm.
other social
Instagram's my
media
favorite.
too.
I know I should be
Yeah.
using TikTok and all those things, but until I hire somebody,
Right,
I'm
oh,
like,
I'm right there with you. And sorry,
I'll do what I can.
she has just decided she is
Oh
not
no,
happy, but she'll be all right. Yeah, I'm right
she
there
won't
with you.
be.
I can pretty much handle Facebook, TikTok, sorry, Instagram, but TikTok and things like that. I'm learning.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
learning.
I'm trying,
It'll
but
take a little bit.
hmm.
Um, but I've got three questions that I always like to ask everybody who comes on the podcast. And
Hmm.
the first one is there, I'm sorry, she's almost
I
almost
can't
done
even hear her.
here.
She's doing great.
Oh, good. Yes, yes, because she's right by my ear. Is there a book or a piece of music that you would say has inspired you more than any other in your life?
Oh gosh, a book or like in outdoors or just in general?
Anything, anything at all.
Okay,
It can be any walk, any realm of your life.
yeah. Well, I my faith is very important to me, so
Okay.
I feel like I would be a hypocrite if I didn't say the Bible.
Right. Well, there you go. Right.
Um, but and the actual Bible, not people's interpretation of it.
Right. Right. That could be a whole
Um,
other episode. Yeah.
yeah, that could be a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
So there's actually this book called Get Your Life Back,
Okay.
by John Eldridge that's really, really good that I read during COVID that is actually really good about just kind of taking control of your life again and not letting the little screens and the world control your thoughts.
Right.
It's super good. I love John Eldridge. I love everything he writes. Um, and then as far as music, oh, I don't know. Okay, it's my so this isn't a specific piece of music,
Okay.
but my husband actually made me a playlist on Spotify, and this is super cheesy and has nothing to do with the outdoors. Um, but my father actually unexpectedly passed away in 2021, and I
Right.
was obviously grieving and having a really hard time and didn't really know what to do. And my poor husband was like, I don't know how to help you. Like how
Right.
I don't know what to do. And I was like, I don't know either. I was like, I don't know how I don't know what I need from you. And he literally stayed up all night one night and like made me
Oh.
this playlist on Spotify and the songs on there, I don't know how he found them. I've never even heard of half these bands. but
Right. But he
um
found them and
but the playlist is phenomenal. I still listen to it all the time. Um and some of the bands on there are some of my favorites now. Bethany Bernard wrote her father, she's a singer and her father died and she wrote a whole album on it called All My Questions. That was really good. Um,
right.
so basically any of the songs he put on there have been
That's well,
great.
he sounds like a keeper. That's a
He
good
is.
thing to do.
He's pretty great.
I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
Um, but something else I always like to ask people is how, as you've progressed through life, and
Hmm.
especially with Explore More, you're married, have children, how has success and the definition of success changed for you?
Mm. Um, how's it changed?
Or has it?
So,
Maybe it hasn't. I mean,
yeah.
that's always a possibility.
Uh-huh. So I think my definition of success, and me and my husband, so we run Explore More together, and we
Hmm.
actually recently both have taken a step back from our day jobs, and like we're doing this full time now.
Wow.
Working together. I mean, we've ran businesses together, but we haven't been fully focused on one goal together
Right.
until now, and it's been really fun. But we've talked about that. And he was like, "What if we never make money?" And I'm like, "Are we getting people outside? Are we getting people off their phones?" Like that's I mean, yes, we have to make money to pay bills and stuff.
Right.
Um, but I'm like, I don't feel like we have failed unless, and this sounds so cliche, but I'm like, I don't feel like we failed unless we quit. And we may get to a point where we're like, hey, this really isn't working. Like, let's go back to having day jobs and just like have regular lives and go to our kids' soccer games and work in an office. Like, that's fine. I don't think that that would be considered a failure. The business may be considered a failure because the business did not make it, but I'm fine either way. I mean,
I love
we've
that.
opened a restaurant before and we opened one restaurant and closed it. I'm like, I guess you could consider that a failure, but like we were able to spin it and it helped out our other restaurant that we had. And like I feel like every time I've had a failure, I've been able to pivot it to feed something else, or at least we learned something. Like he wouldn't have the
Right.
job he had before this if it wasn't for the restaurant. And so
Right. So,
I
so
mean, I hope
is
that
it
makes
a
sense.
failure? Is it a
Yeah.
failure if you come out
I
the
don't
other
feel like
side
it is.
having learned a lesson? I'm with you.
I don't know if I really believe in failure unless you
Yeah.
just like full on quit.
Right. Well, yeah, you just walk
Hmm.
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you because it's all life's lessons.
Yeah.
It might not turn out the way we originally pictured, but that doesn't mean it wasn't successful.
Yeah.
So,
A certain goal may have not worked the way you intended,
right.
but you can always twist it or pivot it to work out for something else.
That's my mother.
Hmm.
One of her favorite things to tell me often is, to ask yourself, but did it work out?
Hmm.
So even sort of situations in my life, as everyone has had, that have been very stressful, or the burst pipe, or the this, or
Hmm.
the stuff that happens in life.
Yeah.
But did it work out in the end? And
Yeah.
the answer is, I think 100% yes.
Or even did you learn something? I mean,
Did
my
you learn
7 year old
something?
right now, she has like this little kids book. It's like a sports book, and it's the title is Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. And it's
Yep.
about because they both play soccer. And so it's about sports. And she loves that book. And I think it's so funny because I'm like, out of all the books you have, like that's the one you keep
That's the
grabbing and you want me
one.
to read to you. But it's true. It's like sometimes it works out, sometimes you learn something. Neither one would
Yeah.
be considered a failure to me.
And neither are a bad
Mhm.
thing at all. I love that.
Yeah.
And the last question I want to ask for you, and you're not allowed to say you're a good husband because that's the easy answer. But if you could go hiking with 10 miles with anyone in the world, they could be dead, alive, from history, somebody you've met, somebody you haven't met, anybody in that has existed. Who would you
Mhm.
like to go for a 10-mile hike with? And give us
Oh,
a little reason why.
oh gosh.
I know, I'm
And you didn't
sorry.
give me a heads up on
No,
any of
I
these
don't. It's
questions.
much more fun when I don't give heads up, I've discovered. Because then you have to kind of go with your gut,
Hmm. It's like my gut said my dad, but then at the
right?
same time, I'm like, I don't know if I would actually.
Right?
Like he's shown up in my dreams before, and I'm like, I don't want to say bye again. So if I,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, and I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just a part of this season that I'm in. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I would want to say bye again. And I know
Right.
some people are like, I just want one more minute. I'm like, I mean, I would love that more than anything,
But
but
to have
saying
one
bye
more
again
minute,
would
you have to say goodbye again.
be brutal. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, maybe that. And then other than that, I'm trying to think of like someone famous. I don't
No, it doesn't have to be.
I don't know. The person that comes to mind right now, like my best friend from college, who we don't live close to each other, so we never
Right.
see each other.
I love
And she
that.
actually went on her honeymoon to Scotland. So can I say we get to go to Scotland together? and we get to
Yes,
hike there together.
I love it. Yeah, you can go hiking, do the West Highland Way, which I've done in Scotland. It's a
Okay,
wonderful
the
100
West
mile
Highland Way.
trail.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's right outside of Glasgow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that I want to go hiking with her in Scotland.
There you go. Perfect
Yeah.
answer. Well, Haley,
Hmm.
with Explore More, we will put links to Explore More when we put this episode out. I cannot thank you enough for your time.
Thank you so much. This is great.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you again to this week's guest, and I hope today's episode was as enjoyable for you as it was for me, and perhaps even inspired your next adventure. If you did enjoy the show, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or follow us wherever you get your podcasts. You can find more information at theoutdoorseyeducator.com or follow us on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. Until next time, thank you so much for listening to the Outdoorsy Educator podcast.